red wine has been said to be so fine. Some people like to drink it all of the time. And that is what we're going to figure out is what is the best red wine.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean...
Welcome, everyone, to the Extraordinary Gentleman podcast. Today, in our line of drinking different beverages, different from that of our normal, like whiskey, lots and lots of whiskey, today's episode is about wine. It wasn't necessarily going to be all, red wine, but I think we all brought red wine, right?
I thought that was the point. Was it supposed to be red wine?
Sure. Oh, was it? I thought it was just wine, but...
We're going to compare the red wine, the highest of the qualities, for around $20.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, listen here. 3 out of the 4 of us know nothing about wine, and one of the 4 knows relatively a lot more.
A lot
How
more
much
than
do you know,
us.
Steve? How much you feel you know?
Like enough?
Enough.
Yeah.
That's all you need is enough.
And we should say that we're in a different spot today.
Oh, yeah.
Today-
Our guest on the podcast is Steve,
And he's hosting us at his place.
and we're his guests subsequently
Yep.
in his
Whoa,
house.
that's guestception.
Guestception.
That.
That was cringy.
Yeah.
So, in an effort to try and keep these podcast episodes shorter and shorter, which we fail at every time, let's begin, shall we?
Let's do it.
Sure.
So, which
Yeah.
one should we begin with?
I'm going with the one that was the screw on top.
Yeah,
That's got to be
Is
the
that what we're starting with?
classiest.
All right,
do
so
it.
I got this one at Total Wine. I was shopping for my whiskey, and a gentleman asked if I was looking for anything, and I said, yes, you know what? I'm looking for wine because I know things about whiskey, and I feel confident about that, but I have no confidence when regarding to red wine.
I know
Could you
things
re-
about wine.
Exactly. Could you recommend me a red wine about $20?
Mm-hmm.
And
Oof.
then he handed me that, and then I didn't even look at it, and I
Yep.
just went.
He's like,
So,
thank you.
Thank you.
What does this say?
So this is
A thing.
Cabernet?
Cabernet.
Cabernet.
Yeah.
Napa Valley, 2018 vintage. It's a good year.
Ooh, very good.
Vintage really means 25 years or older. But okay.
Well, there's a V dot 20. I mean, so
Yep.
Vintage.
California. It's got a boy riding a bike,
Mhm.
doing a front stand.
Bikey
on
boy.
that. So it's let's give me some.
Don't spill on his carpet.
I know this is gonna be a terrible report.
We're using the fanciest of plastic cups.
So fancy
You might just
schmancy.
want to pour that for me.
Oh, man.
You should just pour for everybody.
It's a little bit out of arm's reach for me.
Oh, yeah. Gave me double the pour that you've given Dylan, but that's okay.
Well, I poured myself. I didn't know. I'm used to whiskey.
Yeah, so the thing with most wines is it's very low alcohol content.
Oh yeah, Zach.
Yeah.
When you're done with that, could you read off the? I was gonna say proof, but the alcohol content. Does wine have proof on it?
I don't think it does.
Mhm.
Usually just a percentage.
It's
Yeah.
also just a straight up screw top. There's no cork on this.
Yeah, this is
Very
a 14.3% alcohol by volume.
Is that a lot? What's a normal wine percent?
About 15.
Yeah, they vary. If you go with white wines, I mean, they can go from 3% to 11%. Reds
Okay.
tend to be a little bit stronger,
I
or
see.
has been my experience anyway. What did I blow on this? Like it was coffee.
What's so great about Napa Valley?
Well, like I'm the expert on this apparently.
Exactly.
It's just the prime condition for growing grapes in the United States. That's why you tend to see more wines from the United States from Napa Valley. Yeah, that's really it. I mean, there's wineries everywhere. There's
Right.
wineries in Minnesota,
Yeah.
Right.
but the conditions tend to be better over there.
Yep.
So
I have heard stories of from our. We always bring it up the whiskey vault. I believe was telling a story about a French contest or something. It was all French style wine, all French brands,
Mhm.
and they were going through and essentially showing how superior wine was from France versus California, and they had some California wine makers there, and they did a blind tasting, and the one sommelier was going through and like, oh yes, this is definitely a French wine. You can tell, the bouquet from it, that it's definitely French, and he rated that, scored it, and then it turns out it was California.
It was the
wine.
California.
So it's not really, at least according to
The only instance where I know that like tends to be like an official thing is
Right.
with champagne.
Yeah.
Champagne, like if it's from the United States or anywhere other than France, the
Well, 'cause
Champagne
Champagne
region.
is the region. Yeah.
Right.
I thought it was that. Then it's technically not champagne. It's like
Right.
a sparkling wine.
white wine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's the
that's-
same thing as like
like a scotch or something.
no. Well, I was thinking more of the brandy equivalent of
Oh,
cognac.
yeah.
Yeah. But
So
Very delicious.
first impressions.
I've had a lot of sake before, like way more than regular wine. So whenever I drink wine, all I get are sake notes.
Tastes like
Yeah.
rice.
Is this-
Well, no, not the rice. I just mean the.
is this dry to anyone else? Or
Oh, this is a dry.
this
Right.
is dry. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this Cabernet Sauvignon is dry.
Very dry.
2018 Napa Valley.
Right for the picking.
Yeah. I get
For me, I'm used to the whiskey. I feel like this is a lot of like a alcohol aftertaste.
after
to it.
like
Well,
the evaporation of the tongue.
yeah, like it's
Yeah.
just
You
it's
can
heavy.
you can feel it,
It's very good.
but I was gonna say this is not very acidic
No.
at all.
No.
Okay.
I mean, red grapes.
Yeah.
It's it's
I
gonna
don't
be
know.
sweet.
It's green grapes though.
Those green grapes.
Those green grapes.
Yeah, as opposed to those white ones. Not too bad though.
Going off of no other experience drinking red wine, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
These are usually cooler, aren't they? Or like they're served.
Some people chill them, some people don't. It's really a preference.
I think the recommended serving temperature of wine is like 65, like just below
so
just
we're
below room
5
temperature.
degrees up or something. But
Yeah.
above that right now.
Yeah.
So
Some people store them in a cellar,
Yeah.
basement.
And-
It's a preference.
I know if we have a friend, and he has. I think he used to have over 100 bottles of wine.
that's a problem.
Yeah, but
I
these,
can't say that. I have that much.
but
whiskey.
but we're talking vintages going all the way back to like 60 years,
Yeah.
Right.
and they're
Oh
like,
wow.
yeah, like he was
Wow.
hardcore into wine, and found a lot
I didn't
of
do the spinning thing.
Like pre-nuclear. No, I'm just-
pre-new
I remember
wine.
what I was watching. It was Psych. That episode of Psych, was it, or was it a different mystery drama detective thing where they were betting over a bottle of wine to expose the criminal,
Oh.
and they just did like in classic mystery drama fashion. They do like a 10 or 5 minute rundown of what they're trying to do, and it was just a real topic of how old wines stored in either sunken ships, deep cellars underground, weren't exposed to that trace amount of nuclear radiation dropped when the bombs dropped on Japan. So there's certain wines that have fakes,
Oh yeah.
and you can test the fake based on whether or not
Radiation.
when it was
Radiation,
made,
that's
when it was
interesting.
actually produced.
Interesting.
That, and there are instances of people getting old wines. Like people have bought wines that dated back to the time of Napoleon,
Yeah,
and the bottle wasn't sealed properly,
Right. Yeah.
and they've
Yep.
gotten deathly sick.
yeah.
Good times.
Good times, man. Good
Previously,
times.
we were talking about the Jeffersons,
Yep.
and
Gotta bring it back. Yeah, bring it back to whiskey.
no, this is wine related. So Jefferson hated whiskey, and was a very big wine drinker, and that's kind of why he went broke at the end of his life. 'Cause he spent it all on wine. So then the whiskey industry, that company named it after that. It's kind of like a in-your-face type of thing.
Right.
But that was just something I had to bring back.
So wait, the producers of the Jefferson's brand
Yep.
named the brand after
Yes.
someone they knew
Yes.
to put it in his face.
Because they didn't like.
'Cause they didn't like him.
Yeah,
Or
he
the
famously hated the whiskey
industry.
or the category.
The category,
more
yeah.
So he thought it was less
That
sophisticated.
is funny. Yeah.
Than wine,
Than
which is
wine.
much cheaper and easier
Yep.
to get,
Uh huh.
and yeah, Okay.
Yeah.
And it's arguably a better buzz. I've heard from I've had a lot of people because of its alcohol content and how much you ingest because of that. It lasts longer and isn't as harsh.
Yeah, so because with a you could get buzzed on a glass of whiskey, but you could have like 3 glasses of wine
and keep the buzz going easier.
Well, yeah, and there's a point with alcohol percentage too, where wine is not liquor by any means, so you don't get that immediate warmth that you would from, let's say, vodka or whiskey. So with wine, it is a different kind of drunk. Wine drunk is sometimes very enjoyable.
Wine drunk?
Sometimes. You mean most times, or all times.
It just makes you sleepy.
Yeah.
Sleepy
I thought that's what regular drunk was.
Well, you also
That's too far gone.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Blackout.
You say questionable things about family members.
When you get...
Bad.
Should we move on?
I think we should move on. Yeah.
Ready.
Next
That was
one.
an interesting starting point.
I'm ready.
I thought it was very good.
So we moved from a Cabernet to
So I actually have the
Total Wine page.
I have the Total Wine page pulled up.
talk about it.
So we've got
It's Italian.
It's Italian. So this is what I bought. This is $13. It's
I didn't give the price on mine.
Marchese di Borgosole.
Nice job.
It could be Borgasole.
Borgosole. Sales Salentino. It's from 2015, but that one says it's from 2014.
Yes, a reserve from 2014.
Yes.
Twice
And
the age.
the variety, or it says it's Negro Amaro. So I don't know if that's I've never heard of that before.
I'm thinking that's probably a Pinot Noir.
You thinking it's Pinot?
Yeah. Amaro, is that red in Italian? Probably not. That's
Probably not.
that's probably Rioja.
Huh.
But this has a 13.5 alcohol percentage and contains sulfites. This is going to be fun.
Mine contains sulfites too.
Yeah.
All I know is that I was talking to the guy at Total, and he was like, I was like, yeah, I'm looking for a red wine. I'm holding the bottle, and I was like, I'm interested in this. And he was like, yeah, that's really good. You should buy it. And I was like, okay. He's like, it's $13.
It also makes you wonder if he was just like, I
Yeah.
want to get this guy out of here.
Yeah.
You know.
This guy's
Could've
wearing a
been.
Superman
Is
shirt
the one I'm
looking for a red
holding
wine.
good? Yes.
Hi, I'm wearing a Superman shirt looking for wine.
You, sir, are a man of quality.
I am a quality man.
Yep. So Negro Amaro is the name of the grape. It just means black and bitter.
Oh, okay. So then I don't know what the actual
Like variety. Thank you.
like
Sorry.
what the
Negro would make, yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
No.
Mocho Grassy.
All it says the wine type is just red wine.
Right.
That doesn't say anything.
It says still red wine on the back
This
of the
one
bottle.
smells more tart and sweet.
It does.
Earthy and bitter are the taste or the scent notes.
That
for that grape
Cabernet
specifically.
tend to be kind
Yeah.
of smooth for a dry, which it was different. So let's try this
The legs on
Negro
this.
Amara.
The legs. It's got a nice body, nice oaky afterbirth.
You aerating it? You shaking it around?
Trying to without spilling it.
Yeah.
It's
Out
not
of
gonna,
these
not gonna happen.
child-sized cups.
As we call them in my home, grandma cups.
Grandma cups.
These always are at your grandma's house.
Yeah, why is that?
Definitely has a
It's-
tartness
yeah.
to it.
I was gonna say that. I agree.
Ooh, yeah, that's good.
It's not my favorite, but if you paired it with the right food, it'd be great.
I feel like this would be good with like
Ooh, yeah.
cheese.
That's just
Lots of cheese.
Well, all wines are good with cheese.
Yeah.
But
Lots of cheese.
but this needs to be like a creamy cheese.
I think like
like
a
a-
sharp cheddar.
I have Asiago downstairs.
Sharp
Yeah.
cheddar.
I mean, yeah, actually.
Bitter with bitter.
Good
Yeah.
American cheese.
Yeah, some craft American singles really pair nicely.
If you had it like with like a good salad, but like the other one would probably
Yeah.
be fit
Yeah.
as steak.
This is probably used in like vinaigrettes probably
Yeah.
itself, because this has that same taste as like a cherry vinaigrette.
Well, that was another one of the tasting notes is deep cherry, full body.
Sometimes I wonder every time I taste a wine like this, where it's got a little bit of earthiness, it's got that tartness. I'm like, how much feet have touched the grapes
Right.
that I'm drinking?
Yep.
I like this one more than the other one. because
Really?
It doesn't have that alcohol presence that the other one felt like it was there. Like not the heft, not like the carry,
The,
just
the
alcohol
evaporative
content,
qualities.
but that aftertaste just left me with that alcohol presence. whereas this one seems like it's faster on the finish and it's gone for the alcohol content or flavor.
Definitely more dry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's drier than the last, and it's tartar than the last, and it's fruitier than the last,
And it's cheaper.
and it's cheaper than the last. But I guess I still prefer the first one.
Really?
Yeah.
If I'm going to pick one of those
Of the
two,
two.
I'm picking the Cabernet.
Yeah.
My Italian red wine is very delicious.
Cork twist for the win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, twist.
So far.
Twist off bottle.
Twisty boy.
Okay.
Who knew that twisty wines could be good?
Mm-hmm.
This next one is a California Vorte Sante Pinot Noir, and it is made at the Francis Ford Coppola Winery. So,
Francis Ford Coppola.
director of The Godfather.
Ba-ba-da-boopy. Where's the freaking agabagool?
What?
I don't even know.
Where's the freaking agabagool?
Thank you.
It says in little letters, little subtext, a legitimate winery.
Legitimate businessman's
I'm sure. Long after this is posted, we're gonna start having podcasts about, hey, join our Patreon, and you can put $10 towards our legitimate
Business
Podcast.
venture.
business ventures.
Oh, yes.
Because obviously we're doing wineries, distilleries, and breweries, all
Oh,
entitled
one.
a legitimate blank.
Sake.
Yep.
So, first impression, this smells like jelly.
Yep.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
But Pinot tends to probably be the more popular of red wines.
Yeah.
That and Merlot. So
This also seems like a bloodier red than the rest.
based off my red cup, the red wine.
yes, this room is segregated. That you two have the
Yeah,
darker
wait a
cups and we
minute.
have the clear cups.
Yeah.
That was intentional.
I'm just noticing. Do you run all of your programs off of Mac Mini?
In this instance, I used to use just a regular iMac, but
Yeah.
yeah, I've recorded a couple of records
Yeah.
with this.
I've always wanted a Mac. When I was a kid, the first computer I ever wanted was a Mac Mini because I couldn't. Cause desktops at the time were still too expensive, and iMacs were way too expensive. But I showed my parents, I'm like, Dad, this Mac Mini's like $399, and I can play Minecraft on this.
Yes.
I was like, oh my gosh, I have to have it.
Or you can spend the upgrade and
Yeah.
spend a little bit more to get the extra RAM, so
Right.
it will actually do things.
Actually will function.
And while you were playing Minecraft, Steve was making records.
Yeah. Well, I never got one. My dad's, don't you want a Wii? I'm like,
Yes.
Yeah, actually, I'll take the Wii.
You want to play
fair
Mario
trade-off.
Galaxy?
Okay,
Yeah.
so Pinot Noir.
Back to the
Super
back to
yummy.
the flavor.
I like this one a lot, but it's
Yeah.
very, very fruity.
It's extremely fruity.
It's not dry.
It's
The
not
other two.
very dry, which I kind of liked of the other two, that they were kind of dry.
This would go definitely good with something savory like a
Meat,
steak,
yeah.
some
Oh.
chicken.
If I had like a really nice, like, I don't know, 20-ounce steak, and then just like a slab of butter.
I don't know if this would go good with buttery steak.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
I'm
I do
gonna
it.
disagree.
Salted like Irish Kerrygold butter.
Yes. Like hand rolled Kerrygold, and then you just
Oh.
like, it's like raw. Like you get it rare. It's just seared on the outside.
So you have the thing that'll give you heart disease and the thing that counteracts the heart
Yeah.
disease. with wine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I mean,
I'm invincible.
Yeah, I feel like this needs to go with like a super acidic spicy taco or something.
all I know now is
I would do both.
You do
Yeah.
anything.
I had Taco Bell prior to this, so I can say for a fact it does.
all I know is that now I want to go back to Pittsburgh Blue,
and get some.
and I want to go get a steak, and I want to get a nice wine,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to pair those two together.
Do they
and
let
I
you-
wanna- I just want to see like do these really complement each other that well?
Yeah. Do they let you bring, your own bottle of wine at
No.
Pittsburgh Blue? That's too bad.
They have really affordable wine.
But that is
Okay.
the nice thing, is that their
Their wines are cheaper than the steaks.
Yeah, because you could get like a $60 steak and you get like a $20 wine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then they usually give you like what complements your meal,
Yeah.
which is usually good.
How much do you usually get for a serving of wine?
I think it's like half a glass or full.
It's usually 4 to 6 ounces.
4 to 6 ounces?
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually 5. Because a full wine glass is supposed to hold, I believe, 13 ounces of liquid, and you don't go all the way.
It's like a Glencairn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could just pour it in a big gulp.
Or what you could do is
Yeah.
you could do like what all the
Leave
all
the
the
bottle.
like suburban white moms do, and they just get like the
Box.
no, not the
line
box.
is right in the
Have you
mouth.
have you seen it's got like the weird like rubber stoppers on them, but it's like a glass, and you put it on top of your wine bottle, so you can drink the wine, and it looks like it's just a giant wine
it's
glass.
like it's those it's those caps you put on liquors to make cocktails, right?
Oh, yeah.
Except it's just a wine glass.
They're basically nipples for bottles, basically, and then they just drizzle it into their mouth.
Speaking of which, drinking wine Sunday, still somewhat early in the day.
Mm-hmm.
We're kind of doing the Karen thing and having brunch.
Except
A
it's
little
like the reverse Karen because we're doing it late in the
It's like
evening.
4:30. That's like almost whiskey time.
It's
Almost.
grandpa dinner time.
Actually, it's grandpa dinner time because right now I would be eating like my creamed corn
What?
because my teeth are gone.
Because Grandpa eats cream corn. Yeah.
This is some delicious stuff.
Yep.
Where's that red wine to pair with my cream corn?
Back in the war.
Suzette, where are my dentures?
We never drank wine in the war because those Nazis would poison the wine back in
Better
France.
call the cops. There's some youths on the lawn.
These air duels.
Ne'er-do-wells are on the lawn.
Urgh. Okay.
Loitering on my property.
That was really good. I did like that. It was nice.
Enjoying.
I still like the first one. That one was not acidic enough for me.
There was a very
Yeah.
interesting. The first one was really good.
They
Even
even
though it
know
was
how
on-
to pick.
Yeah, even though I was only 2 years old.
I thought it was really good.
Shows you that a 2-year-old can do just as much work as a 4-year-old.
Sure.
Steve's like, ah.
What part of child labor are we talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
The part
Before
when
the
they're
next
actually
one.
collecting the grapes for us.
This one's got a lot of descriptions on the rear. Would you mind if I
Yes,
read 'em?
and I just want to say one thing, that this has scored a 90 points from Wine Spectator.
Wow.
I've never heard of
Oh
them.
my gosh.
Yes, it's the magazine that literally 5 people read while they're smoking cigars.
Yeah. There's Campo Viejo's Rioja. It is from 2013, 7 years old, and Dylan's gonna like this.
This is the oldest.
It's barrel aged for 18 months.
No way.
Yep. And it's also
Wait, what barrel age? What kind of
doesn't
barrel
say.
age?
Yeah.
Aren't these
Just a
all
barrel.
barrel aged?
Well, technically they would be.
Same barrels that they
So-
Donkey Kong
This is
does
aged
at
for
Mario.
longer. This is also a blend of different grapes. It is the Tempranillo. It's 85% of that. The Graciano, 10% of that, and the Masuelo,
Wow.
5% of that. So when you're tasting this,
Who knew that
rich
Zach
rich
was-
aromas.
You want us to pick out the 10% of the
the Graciano?
Graciano?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'll keep that in
Pick
mind.
that out.
It's a flavor explosion. Dylan.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna
yeah,
mix
rich
the
aromas
jellies
of
together.
wild cherries, pepper, and oak.
Pepper.
Balanced and elegant with soft tannins.
Well, I'm gonna be looking for those tannins now.
Well, the tannins are going to come out from the wood.
Just worried that you said pepper.
Pepper.
Sprinkle.
Be my little pepper minister.
Smells fantastic, by the way.
Did you say the percentage on this one?
I kind of want to.
This is.
Kind of want to take pictures of all these because
You should.
I think they're all really
It's
good.
13 and a half.
Wow.
I feel like the part of us that lives in the Midwest would go, this smells like it would be great with cheese curds.
Cheese curds. Why? Oh, now I want cheese
Is
curds.
there Culver's nearby?
I have some downstairs. They're not fried.
You got Culver's downstairs?
That'd be amazing.
Did you actually go to Wisconsin to get them?
They're Ellsworth.
Oh, well.
It's good. It smells
This one
super sweet.
smells similar
Super
to
sweet.
2, I feel like.
Wow. It's almost overbearingly sweet.
Does it kick you in the teeth?
Try it.
Very sweet. Yeah, it's actually almost.
Oh.
I get less oak.
There's also a lot of tart.
Yeah,
A lot of tart
very
right at the end.
pomegranate-y. It says wild cherries, but I'm just gonna say pomegranates.
Well, wild cherries don't really taste good until you add sugar.
It's true that.
Yeah, this one. I'm not loving this one.
Not my favorite, but it scored a 90 points.
Yeah, on Wine Spectator.
Kind of like 2 still.
You kind of
I
have
don't know.
to
2
agree.
was pretty good.
Yeah.
I really like the sourness. The tarts.
Very tart.
Pop tarts.
Very tart.
I feel like this is just missing a lot of the complexity the other ones had.
I don't get. Do you get pepper on this one?
I do kind of get a slight pepper towards the end.
I feel this is a type of wine that I feel requires you to have something with it. So whether it be food,
Okay.
or just sitting outside and enjoying the scenery or talking with friends. I don't feel like it's good enough
So
alone.
you can't sit inside in a dark room.
I mean, if you're an alcoholic, yes, you can.
Yeah.
But by itself, I feel like it's lacking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like it's interesting,
I had high hopes.
just not that complex.
My dad highly recommended this one as far as cheap. Well, this is only as far as cheap wines.
How
go.
much was it?
Yeah,
This
you're
is
not
like-
ready for anything good
Yeah,
yet.
this is
The-
like $9.
The end,
$9.
Oh, wow.
the end taste of it is extremely just tastes like pure alcohol.
Actually, it tastes like straight up grape skins.
No, like once you finish the glass.
The flesh or the meat? Call back.
Call
The
back.
flesh of the meat.
Can you guys believe they did surgery on a grape?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they had to test the robotic device.
Yeah.
The robotic arm.
They're like, what should we do? Well, these people are waiting for surgeries. They
Test
just
on
change
a
their life.
grape.
I got some grapes I was eating.
Let's do that.
Richard, bring me the grapes.
They build the grape $3 million.
So you'd be more impressive if it was a raisin. They did it.
Ooh,
I want to see a raisin.
What if they could rehydrate a raisin and then do surgery on it? That's mind blowing.
Yeah.
That's mind blowing.
So this one.
I'm excited for this last one.
I feel like so far
Yeah.
I haven't been missing out too much on not having red wine. It's definitely enjoyable, but it's like changing my life.
You should have sake.
and it's
I
a
love
preference.
sake.
You know,
Sucker.
there are some reds that we haven't tried here.
And also, these are like $15.
Yeah.
They're not like the really.
Here's 20.
There's an
Oh.
Australian one called a Shiraz. It's more pink. It's more fruity in flavor. It's almost like comparable to a white wine, which would be like a Riesling, a little bit tart, a little bit sweet.
Would that be more? Would that almost be considered a rosé though? But it's not a blend like a rosé. would be.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard it called red wine more than not.
Okay.
So what's considered a sweet vermouth then? Like what's vermouth versus like a?
Well, vermouth is like a weird.
Vermouth's a mix.
Yeah, it's like a weird variant.
Yeah.
It's like if I make Manhattan
Get some research.
and I use sweet vermouth.
Because it's still technically, it's like sweet.
It's a wine, but and it's about 14%.
Yeah, it's like sweet wine, and like some people do drink vermouth straight up.
Right.
But
But right now
it's
I'm
Gross.
contemplating.
Some people prefer that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I can drink vodka straight.
Oh, I could drink vodka straight.
Most people prefer not to drink vodka straight.
I don't know.
I was like, I'm not. You know.
I'm not a weenie. I'll do it.
Yeah, but,
Yeah,
but I mean,
okay.
but is it a preference for you?
Oh no.
Right.
Gary's like, oh yeah, no problem. Is it preference?
I mean, man
no.
points, you could take anything.
Yeah, true. Like 5 ounces of Fireball straight down the hatch.
I hate
Easy.
Fireball's
Great
terrible.
sense.
Fireball is terrible.
Okay.
Yeah, basically, vermouth is just wine that is lacking in everything you would like about wine, and so they add everything else after the fact. So sugars, artificial flavorings.
Oh, okay, so,
So
that's
like a tonic wine.
It's like a flavored whiskey versus like a
Kind of, but like a
or
flavored
something.
whiskey, it has to be aged like a little bit or something to make it kind of whiskey.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
No, it doesn't have to, but most are. This is like right off the gate. You take a wine, you add a bunch of crap to it. You can distill it if you want.
It's got
You
no
sell it.
aging.
Yeah, and
It's just flavored everything.
Okay.
And you know, wine is it's not often mixed, but you have things like vermouth, wineritas. There's a thing called calamucha where people mix it with cola.
So I want to
It's
ask
not
your
that bad.
opinion on this. Have you heard of a Dugarita?
Without making a bad joke, no.
Is that Mountain Dew?
Brooklyn.
Oh,
Red
gosh.
Lobster.
No, Red Lobster does not.
Red
make
Lobster
this.
has released something called a Dugarita.
Does it have a giant number 3 on the
I wish it'd be awesome, but so that was a recent thing. Is Brooklyn wants to go like next week and go get a Dugarita and some cheddar biscuits.
That actually sounds.
Those are
pretty
not
good.
going to
So you're
pair
just
well
gonna
together
just
at all.
and then
Why would you do that?
and then biscuits.
Well, I'm
That's
already.
it. Is that not the most redneck thing? Is a Dugarita
But
and
I'm
going
already
to Red
at
Lobster?
Red Lobster, so I might as well spend the money to get a Dugarita, get a full lobster, eat the lobster, and then get the cheddar
Oh yeah,
biscuits.
so like to pair my lobster with a
Yep.
Mountain Dugarita.
Yeah.
This makes you. I've had the feeling where I've went to Red Lobster before, and then they give you all the Cheddar Bay biscuits you want, but there's that point where you haven't had enough, but
Right.
they haven't given you more
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah,
And then
I
you
know.
feel kind of like a bad person
Yeah.
because I want my Cheddar Bay biscuits.
No.
But just the fact that you're saying Cheddar Bay biscuits makes you sound a little bit redneck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally is.
Unlike Olive Garden, which will shove the breadsticks personally down
your throat.
By hand. you
Okay,
know?
but honestly though,
Because
if
it's
you
a scam
go,
for the ultimate salad.
if
soup
you
and
go
salad.
and you get like the endless pasta and soup thing, and you just get chicken gnocchi, that's all you get, and like a bowl of pasta every time, and you dip those breadsticks in the gnocchi, that's so good.
But that's the
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
That's what Zach and I were just saying is that I feel like the breadsticks, they give you as much breadsticks as you can handle, just so you don't
Spend
eat
as
as-
much.
Eat as
eat as much as
Eat,
the unlimited soup and salad.
But wouldn't that be taking away from their profit margin?
Well, no, because
No,
they're
the breadsticks part.
because you're getting all you can eat. You want to eat. They want you to eat less.
You're gonna fill
than
up
you
on
could
the
possibly
carbs.
eat.
Oh, because it's all you can eat. So then
Yeah.
they
So
don't-
you've already spent the money,
I
and they want you
see.
to eat the least amount as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
breadsticks.
breadsticks.
Breadsticks are an easy way and cheap way for
Yep.
them to artificially stuff you up.
If you think about food,
but everyone's
poverty,
happy. Everyone's happy.
bread is the food that consistently comes up as everybody wanting because
Yeah.
it fills you up.
Yeah, it's so good. Bread
So-
is the best.
We mentioned this before. There's a bonus wine.
I haven't read anything about it. Otherwise, like I
About to
just
get
saw
crazy.
I saw an Ace Spirits email thing they do like once a week is Snoop Dogg has a red wine, and we went searched high and low at my local Corbin
Very difficult. To
when
find.
I was just walking through.
And happened to see it.
Happened to see it high and low, right in mid shelf. Snoop Dogg's red wine.
So before pointing out the alcohol content, I just want to point that in Iowa you can get 5 cents for recycling the bottle. And
I
in
was just like,
Maine-
just get rid of this.
Maine is 15 cents.
Jeez, we can't fly this stuff to Maine.
Dang, that's
Collect,
good.
just collect your bottles now.
You know,
Okay, I really hope that it's like 4.20%.
14.2.
It is actually 14.1.
oh,
I know.
Even
Snoop Dogg.
if it was 0.2.
Oh,
let's
but
do it though.
this is
Missed opportunity.
19 Crimes, Cali Red, Snoop Dogg wine. I want to say it's vintage just to sound classy, but
Right.
it's from 2019.
New vintage.
Yep, we've got to try this.
I'm not familiar if this is like his company or if he's just an endorsement.
That is red.
This is
Oh
just
my
like
gosh!
That is red.
looks like liquefied jelly.
It looks like.
I'm excited.
That looks like really dark.
I have high hopes for this one.
Sploosh.
I can feel Snoop Dogg just like
I can feel the essence of Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg
You would think that he would have endorsed some gin.
and
Yeah,
sold
he
it
would-
for millions of dollars.
Well, just so you can have gin and juice. Laid back.
Gin and
juice.
This actually smells pretty good.
So how does it smell? Doesn't smell bad.
No.
Actually, it
Yeah.
tastes pretty good.
No, it is not.
It's not that bad.
That is like sugar up the wazoo. That tastes,
Wow.
It tastes like a Welch. What's
That's
the brand?
grapefruit.
Is it Welch's?
That's great.
It tastes like a Welch's grape.
Yeah.
It's grape
I
juice.
Grape
Yeah.
juice.
This arguably,
Yeah,
well, I think
this is the worst out of all.
the second most amount of alcohol in it.
Yeah.
And you cannot
No,
taste the
this
alcohol.
is dangerous.
That's probably the point, you know.
This.
I would argue depending on what you like about wine.
Okay, the second sip was really bad.
Oh really?
This would
so.
pair really well with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah, it did get worse.
Crust cut off.
It got worse on the second sip.
Third sip.
I think an Uncrustable would be great with this.
This would be perfect with Uncrustable or a Lunchable.
Yes.
Zach's like, I'm dying.
If you were going to just get into alcohol and you didn't like the taste of alcohol and you didn't want to drink margaritas
Yep.
How much was
because
this?
you were too much of a man, but you like Snoop Dogg, who arguably hasn't had a hit since Drop It's Like It's Hot.
Yeah.
How much was
Or
it?
the Need
I don't
for
know,
Speed
is that
remake
arguable,
of,
or is that-
Riders on the Storm?
I mean, that's technically Pharrell, right?
What is?
Drop It Like It's Hot.
Basically.
So, like, when has Snoop Dogg had a solo hit?
I
Since
don't know.
like Gin
Doc-
and Juice.
That's a Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg song.
True.
True.
Like, murder was the case? I don't know. Like,
So this was $15 at my Colburn's.
Yeah, this
Ooh.
is bad.
It's probably like $12 a total, is my guess.
Yeah, never buy this. This is bad.
so for those who don't know, Coburn's is a supermarket
Also sells liquor.
that
Does liquor.
also sells liquor
It's
that
arguably
sells Snoop Dogg wine.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I would
it's
say
got
it's
like it tastes like musty feet.
It's only 1 year. I mean, what if they... Imagine if they keep this aging for the next 5, 10, 20 years.
Yeah,
Vintage will be amazing.
Just as long as it doesn't age like Snoop Dogg.
You could make popsicles out of this, and then like have it at like
That would
like
be interesting.
like a bridesmaids party or something.
Ugh.
Definitely the worst. Hands
Yeah.
down.
Like hands down.
Oh, that's
I
bad.
kind of want to give number 1 and 2 back a double
Second try.
return.
The first 3 are great
Yeah.
for all different reasons.
Yeah.
I just
At least
think
the bottle looks interesting.
He's got like that weird like.
It's Snoop wearing a hoodie.
Around and then I saw the bottle and said, yeah, that's
Well, it's also got like the weird like where it's kind of like faded black, like it's kind of that hazy black that goes down the bottle.
I would love to give that as like go just get invited to a dinner and give that as like the dinner.
No, what you should
gift.
do,
Yeah.
what you should do
They're like, what
is
is
you
this?
should cut the top off of that and turn it into a candle,
Or just a glass.
Or do I
in
get a
general.
or just a
Glass.
glass
Or
in
a-
general,
yeah.
because that would be awesome. Just having like a Snoop Dogg wine bottle just chilling there.
The problem is you have to, in order to do that, you have to wash the. It has to be underwater while
Yeah.
you're cutting it, so that's gonna take the label right off.
Yeah.
That only works with the glass bottles that have the logo imprinted.
Imprint-
You put an epoxy on the outside.
Yeah, you would have to like
Yeah.
epoxy it and then like.
I have
leave it.
seen
a
a
lot of
different
work.
method of cutting glasses with
You can get like a scoring knife and then you can go around the edge.
well,
Yeah.
I think this is more for beer bottles. I think that's why, because it's thinner.
I feel like this is the official wine of parkour.
But like you get a piece of string and you soak it with like
lighter fluid.
lighter fluid or something. And you go around and the temperature.
You light it on fire and then you dunk it in the water.
Yeah,
Mhm.
maybe that might work.
It does work. I've done that before.
Okay. Yeah, not much to say.
Not much else to say, but Snoop Dogg,
Of all the wines that there are, this is one of them.
This is so bad.
Snoop Dogg, I'm calling you out. This is
You know,
bad.
When you're like 10, 11 years old and you see your parents drinking a glass of wine, you're like, oh, can I try that? And they know you're not going to like it, so they're like, oh, sure,
Sure.
try it. And then you're like, I don't like alcohol.
Don't
And they're hoping that's going to stop you from drinking until you're like of age. This is worse.
Yeah, this is like
worse.
This is something that
This is something I hate.
old school parents would give to knock you out at the end of the night.
Yeah.
I would rather drink cough syrup than this, to be honest. I don't like this at all.
You know what?
And quite honestly,
Please, let's not knock Grape Dimetapp, okay? this is not as good as Grape Dimetapp.
grape Robitussin.
Ooh.
get the rub and alcohol. Actually, yeah, I drink rub and alcohol. Yeah, more than this.
We've got some. Let's
Yes.
taste it.
Yes, bring
would
it,
drink-
bring it out, and I promise you, my face will squint less than when I'm drinking this abomination.
It's like so
of grape
bitter
juice.
and so sweet at the same time. It's like so gross.
It's so
By the
gross.
makers of bad.
It makes my cheeks feel bad. It makes my tongue hurt.
I have to have something else.
Snoop Dogg,
Or
why
that
you,
first one again.
That first one is so dry compared to the...
why you do this to us, Snoop?
I think
It's
that's...
not open, Zach.
I forgot this is not a cork. It's a
Oh
top.
no.
Snoop Dogg did him in.
Snoop Dogg got him.
Yeah, so basically any wine is better than that.
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet. But, I mean, we had to know.
Yeah, I've tasted white wines that basically are like 7-Up with a little bit of alcohol. But you know what? 7-Up by itself ain't that bad. So Moscato is hands down better than 19 Crimes Snoop Dogg Cali blend.
This is so dry.
Take it back.
It smells
Take me back.
so much better.
Steve is not drinking the same.
Yeah, what are you getting rid of the flavor with?
His.
The Pinot because it was closer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pinot was pretty good.
wrong with that. All right, so in conclusion, don't buy celebrity endorse or what
I've
would,
heard-
what would that even be called?
I've actually
Celebrity.
heard the aviation gin that Ryan Reynolds
It's just
endorses.
We're talking about wine, but
yes. In terms of
Pretty good.
wine, Francis Ford Coppola?
That's pretty good.
Francis Ford Coppola
Okay.
had some pretty good wine.
Yeah.
Whatever Dylan's was, the Courtney Benham.
Yeah.
I
I guess
Courtney Barnett.
I guess the
Courtney
takeaway would be is you can get some red wines that are so fine.
for under $20.
But
I think that would keep you rocking all the time.
It
Yeah.
really would keep you rocking all the time. I think any of the first 4 would keep us rocking all the time.
that's it. I mean, I think that sums it up right there.
So
So
there's 2. Thank you for listening in. Next up, do we have a next episode planned?
Maybe
Scotch
sake?
straws.
Maybe. I
Maybe
would love to do
sake?
sake.
I think it's sake because
I
we
think
gotta
s-
wait for Nick to
I
get
think
back.
you guys should
Yeah.
eat sushi beforehand.
I think no, we should eat sushi while we're doing
I'm
sake.
fine with that.
Yeah.
It totally ruins your palate for sake, but yeah,
puke
it tastes
trials.
good.
We're gonna get the sushi though in New Prague.
We're not. We'll have to drive it out there.
Mhm.
Put it
There's
in
a place in
nice box.
Shakopee.
Yeah, even still, you kind of need it. You don't want it chilled either. You kind of want it.
It needs to be like room temperature.
You know, let's record our podcast at a restaurant. Next week's episode.
It's gonna be at Nas.
Yeah, at not. Do they have?
Not-
They don't have
Nas
sushi.
doesn't have sushi.
Not the
Thai.
rapper.
I was gonna say, but well, there is sake sushi. That is a restaurant in Chaska that has amazing sushi.
That also
I don't-
does karaoke.
No, they don't.
Sake
Yes, they
sushi
do.
does karaoke.
No, that's Kai's. It's sake.
Is it?
I think it's. I don't think it's sake. Sake sushi is too. I mean, when you walk in, they try to be distinguished and
Ah.
professional looking in there.
Look at this distinguished gentleman.
Look at this distinguished gentleman. All right, bye everyone. Thank you for listening.